Hi, I'm making this video today to give you a review and a video of how the Toro Super Recycler mulches thick, tall grass. Previous video I'd made on the Toro Super Recycler, I just went over the features of mower and mowed a little bit, but the grass wasn't super thick. I do have the Super Recycler 21385, which is the one with the Toro engine on it. Some guys have said in the comments on that video that maybe that model had been discontinued. I'm not sure. That could be the case. I've seen some reviews that say it's 2020 model, so it might be. But anyways, I'm going to show you how it mows this thick grass. And we did get quite a bit of rain last week. In the previous video I made on the Super Recycler, I talked about us getting a lot of rain. Here at my house, I had about 3 inches from Thursday through Wednesday, so over 6 days, which was not bad. We were dry going into that, but it varied a lot. My buddy lives just a few miles south of me, a couple miles south of me in town. He had over 4 inches. And then I know over in Bloomington, you know, over to the east of us here, they had 10 inches in spots. My dad down in east central Illinois had, you know, 4 or 5 inches, I think he had. River and creek it out and stuff like that. So it varied a lot. But here at the house, I was fortunate to not get too much. But anyway, I'm going to show you the grass, and then we'll show you some mowing after that. So this right here will be the grass I'll be cutting. It's my thickest, luscious grass that I've got. You can see my other grass here is tall yet and still and looks good, but back here, this is actually a new sod from here and then going back and on around the corner. New sod that was put in about 7 or 8 months ago, last fall. I had some drainage issues in this backyard, so I had to have it regraded, cut a swale there in October, going out and around the corner to the sidewalk. And this is new sod that was put in there in October. At any rate, I'll show you the height on this. Trying to get down here. You can see right here in this position, we're looking at consistently 4.5, 5 inches. Isolated went up to about 6 or so. Over here in this position, it goes down a little bit. We're looking at 4, 4.5, somewhere in that range. Coming out here again, getting it down there. This is taller yet, probably 5 inches consistently, I'd say. 5.5, 6 on some of the taller ones. So I'm going to be cutting this down to 3 1/4 with the Super Recycler and see how it mulches that up. Okay, here is the Toro Super Recycler sitting there in the grass. You can see how tall the grass is up to it at this point. Like I said, it's set at 3 1/4. I just showed you what the measurements were on the grass. I could set it up to 3 3/4 or so, but I decided to leave it where it's at just because I want to keep it there and also to give it a true test. This will be mulching 100%. You know, no side discharge or bagging, obviously you'll see. And we'll make a few passes here and show you what it looks like. So let's go ahead and look at the cut quality from the Toro Super Recycler here. And you can see the grass, like I said, cut it 3 1/4 from what we showed you on the measurement, which was 4.5 consistently. 5 in spots, 6 in spots. You can see the difference there. There's a few stragglers here and there. We talked about that before. As you look over the yard, it doesn't look bad at all. In terms of clippings, I mean, there's just nothing there in terms of clippings on your straight throughs here. I did notice that where I turn on the edges over here, There's some clippings that kind of accumulate that I would normally not mow like this. I'd normally outline the yard along this fence, obviously, and then start going back and forth on my mows. And I don't think that would be a problem if I had mowed that like normal and gotten rid of that on the edge, because I don't see that being a problem at all. But you can see the grass difference there, the cut quality. The grass is not wet. It's the middle of the afternoon, so there's no moisture on the grass or anything. Grass leaves are blades, I should say, do have moisture in them. It seems like it's a green grass, lush grass, so it's not like a dry, wispy grass. So it's got some moisture in it that way, not like you see in spring, but enough that this is giving it a pretty good test here of its recycling ability. So I'm pleased with it. I think it does a good job on this for a 21-inch push mower. I think it does mulch real well, and especially in this kind of grass, you can see the difference here as we go. I think it lives up to its name of Super Recycler. Okay, I'm done with the complete cut of the lawn. Everything turned out good. Show you just, this is not trimmed or blowed or anything. You can see up on my patio here that, you know, the clippings that it leaves as you're going here. It's not bad, blow right off. Ain't no problem there. This stuff up here may turn a little yellow. This stuff up here doesn't get a lot of sun up here by the house. This was probably 8 inches in spots. I mean, I'm not even kidding. You can see it kind of yellowed it right along the edge right there from taking so much off. And that stuff gets wispy and tall because it doesn't get much sun. It's in shade, and so it doesn't dry out. It stays moist, and I'll just put some fungicide down here pretty soon. I'll do that here shortly, the next few days. Right along this edge here with some of the stuff I was showing you, I turned. Here's some grass clippings. This is about the only place I could find this, was right about here. These grass clippings, that ain't no problem though. You just take the blower and feather that out. I didn't go over that again, or you just go over it again real quick. But I didn't see any of that in any other spots where I turned. Just right there in that spot was the only place I saw that, just to show you. But this thing does do a good job recycling those clippings. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show too was the neighbor here next door. Hopefully he ain't out, but he mowed a day ago, I think. You can see he's got a Craftsman. You see his spots here in between his throughs where there's some grass there, and that looks familiar to me as someone that had a Craftsman. It leaves those there when you're mulching up. He doesn't bag or anything. Compare that to where mine is here with the Super Recycler, and you don't see any problems with the throughs right here, any grass as you go back here through mine. And I know my grass is pretty weedy here. You're seeing some clover. You're seeing, you know, this stuff here. I'm not even sure what that is. Some crabgrass starting to come. I got to give it another spray. I had some nimble wheel here coming in, whiten that off. I got to spray that here shortly. So I was talking about I've been spraying and needing to spray this yard. I've been spraying with Tenacity. I don't spray any 2,4-D in my yard anymore. I used to spray 2,4-D all the time in our previous house, a lot. And we actually had a female dog who got lymphoma and died when she was about 4.5. So, you know, got lymphoma, she died real sudden. And I started doing some research and found that there is a possible link, you know, you can look online and see, between spraying 2,4-D and lymphoma and cancers in especially female dogs and stuff. And there's some research that suggests that, some that doesn't. But I'm like, hey, I sprayed a lot of 2,4-D and I had a female dog that got cancer, so maybe there is a link. So I don't spray 2,4-D anymore in my yard. We got a female dog now, who's a different dog, obviously, who's 5.5. And she's never seen 2,4-D in the yard. I only spray Tenacity. I think it's the most eco-friendly, kid-friendly, pet-friendly herbicide you can find. It does a good job. It does take a longer time to work than most stuff. It takes about 5-6 days to see results. Kind of whitens stuff off, and then it just goes away. It doesn't, you know, kill it and crink it like 2,4-D does. Sometimes you got to apply it twice to crabgrass and stuff like that, and that nimble wheel I was showing you. You got to apply it about 8 days apart. It will whiten your regular turf grass, but it doesn't hurt it. It just comes out of that, but it does whiten it off. But I just prefer to spray that in terms of, you know, thinking it's safer to spray with kids. I got young kids and dog I want to protect and stuff too. And I've sprayed everything, a lot of things in my life. I shouldn't say everything. You know, a lot of Roundup, obviously, on the farm. I used to spray Gramoxone on the farm to burn down. If anybody knows what Gramoxone is, it's nasty stuff. It comes out, stinks. They used to say, the farmers always said it was derived from Agent Orange, and I think that's got a little bit of truth to it. But you know, so it's not like I'm scared to be around that stuff and handle that stuff, but I just don't want to expose my pet and kids to the 2,4-D in the yard if I don't have to, and I think the Tenacity is a little bit safer product, just talking about that. But getting back to the mower, the Toro Super Recycler did a good job, and I think a real good mulching push mower. I'm happy with what it did with this tall grass. Grass looks good, yard looks good considering what it looked like, and I got like 0 clippings left around the yard. You know, and I mowed some pretty tall grass, as you hopefully could see there in the video. So I do recommend it. And my buddy Guth Lawn Care has got a lawn care channel. Buy you that Toro grandstand. You won't be sorry, buddy. Bye.